Have you ever had a great idea and then you see someone else doing it and then you think that could have been me? In her book, The Big Magic, Elizabeth Gilbert says that ideas are like visitors that are floating around us, waiting for someone to welcome them. Creatives, entrepreneurs, you know what I'm talking about. This happens all the time to us. How many times we have had great, incredible, brilliant ideas that we just don't take action on them, and the next year or maybe a couple of months after, even the next day, we see someone doing it. In this video, I'm going to break down why and how this happens and why you can do what we can do to not let all these brilliant, wonderful ideas escape from us. Why and how this happens. Why? I like to believe that the person that gets the idea, the person that access to the idea, that person has what it takes to develop that idea, to bring that idea into reality, to do something with that idea. Otherwise, we wouldn't have those ideas. So, why? That's the why. And how it happens, it's a match of the idea. And I like to think that the own idea has its own type of energy. So there's a match in that energy and your energy. So based on who you are, your authenticity, the experiences you have had in your life, that those are like the ingredients, the perfect ingredients for this other, let's say, the missing ingredient. So when these two ingredients find each other, they're like, okay, we go well together. So that's when it creates the match. And then we receive the heat of inspiration, we receive the idea. When it happens when we are in a state of usually relaxation, when we are not stressed out, when we are not burned out. If you're an entrepreneur, a creative mind, you know that usually what we want to do when we are so stressed out and we are not getting any ideas or any inspiration, the first thing you want to do is to just go for a walk or maybe get a little workout in, or just take a shower, something that takes you out of the thinking, the analyzing of the problem or the experience you are having. So when it happens is when we are doing something that we really enjoy doing, when we are, if we want to use a little bit of neuroscience and the terminology of Joe Dispenza, we usually receive ideas when we are feeling elevated emotions. When we are experiencing elevated emotions, we are not thinking. So we are in a state of relaxation. Our body is relaxed. Again, we are not having thoughts in our minds, and the fact that we are experiencing elevated emotions can be gratitude, joy, love, um, excitement, so many of them. When we are in those states, we are not only very relaxed, but we are just in this high state. We are just very open to receive. The more we do what we love to do, the more you do, the more you do those things that make you the authentic person you are, the more space you are creating to receive ideas. If maybe you're in a phase in your life where you're feeling a little not sure of what makes you happy, what brings the best of you, what are those elevated emotions that you can experience, that's totally fine. No worries. Many of us have been there. The one thing I would suggest, especially if you're a creative or an entrepreneur, we love spending time and money getting certificates, studying new tools and new things, and we often forget that the best investment we can do is to invest in ourselves. So if you are feeling a little, let's say, you're finding a little lack of inspiration about the things that you like, I would suggest that maybe you can invest a little time in working on yourself. There are many ways how you can do that. You can work with a coach, you can read a nice book that can give you some tools how to connect with that authentic self that you are, and start finding those activities that bring you those elevated emotions, so you can start finding ways how to create a space to find inspiration again. What to do when you get these ideas, when you get these inspirations. If you maybe are someone that has been noticing lately that, oh my God, you're becoming aware when it happens. So I'm going to share what are the things that I've been doing now that I'm very aware when these moments present. The first thing I do is to allow myself to feel a lot of gratitude whenever I have one of these ideas. When I'm aware that I'm having some inspiration and some great ideas, I try to be present for a few seconds and feel gratitude, like, oh my God, this is amazing, like, okay, I just got another amazing idea. So I'm more intentional now when I receive these hits of inspiration. I'm like, okay, nice, I got another one. Because if you think about it, it's not like it happens 24 hours every single day. Like they happen, like once in a while. So whenever it happens, I'm like, okay, here it is. There's one. Thank you, whoever you believe in, God, universe. But yeah, I'm just present for a little bit with that moment. I do take this seriously, to be honest. If you think about it, we spend a lot of time trying to have other people like us. And it's just crazy to think that we spend very little time trying to like ourselves. So I've been becoming way more intentional to the way I experience life and the way I experience my inner experience, if that makes sense. So whenever I'm having those moments that is just me with myself, so I'm like very present there, like, okay, thank you. This is wonderful. Like, oh my God. Like I just give myself a few moments to take it all in. Like, oh, this is really amazing. I'm so, so grateful this is happening again. So once I had that little moment to take all that idea in and just, feel grateful for having that idea, the next thing, I'm very intentional now, because I used to not pay this much attention to when I'm having ideas. So now what I do is, just for another minute, I try to think, what can I do with this idea? Do I have time and do I have the energy right now to take bold action on this idea, whatever it is? Or can I take a little baby step on this idea, to act on this idea? And a lot of the times you're going to realize that you might not have the time. It might not be an idea for you to just start a business next day, right? They might be just little inspiration. It could be just, I don't know. Sometimes, like, sometimes I have very crazy ideas and inspiration. So what I've been doing lately, what I recommend you to start doing as well, if you like, if you feel inspired, is that I just go on Instagram and I talk about it. Because a lot of what happens, and this is very connected to everything that I've been sharing in the video, a lot of the times, and this is the reason why I feel so grateful, and I'm just creating very intentionally all this space to be present when this happens, is because we receive those ideas because we do have what it takes to bring this idea to life. And because there might be someone of, or maybe even a group of people waiting for that idea. Maybe there's a group of people, and it can be, who knows, a bigger, very big amount of people that are struggling without having that idea we just had. So I also feel like, in a good way, it's a positive feeling, like this little responsibility on, okay, if I'm receiving this idea, there is a big, big reason, because I'm being selected, I'm being um, selected to receive this idea. I have what it takes. If I got it, there's a reason why I got it. And I like to think that it's because those ideas are going to serve. If we go to, think about entrepreneurs and creators mentalities, like that's what we want to do. We want to solve problems. We want to help people. We want to serve people with our ideas. So if we start relating to those moments, into those ideas from the way I'm sharing, I'm doing it, I think it just makes it way more powerful. We take it way more seriously, and yeah, it's just, it adds a layer of appreciation to the overall experience you're having every day. I hope you find some inspiration in this video. I cannot wait to hear from you. And if you have been experiencing something similar, if you are taking some action on your ideas and inspiration, for now, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. I hope to see you on my next video. Peace and love.